What's going on, YouTubers? It's your boy, The Beagle, coming at you with the predictions video for tonight's Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Today I'm going to be joined by...
Hi.
This is my cousin, Jacob. He also has a YouTube channel. What's your channel's name?
cursedlordsgaming.
Speaking a little louder so I can probably hear you.
cursedlordsgaming.
Okay, did I spell correctly?
What do you mean?
I'm not saying you're the world's best speller, so...
I mean, no caps.
This,
Yes, it's spelled
okay.
correctly, but it's no
Okay.
caps. It's all one word.
Okay, I want people to say, look for you. And I'll find you. And you know me, like I said, it's the Beagle. So, let's get right into predictions for today. The very first match is a pre-show match, and it's going to be, he has to get something that lights some eyes. The New Day taking on Sanity in a tables match. He's going to win that match.
Wait, you just go way off course? Hello?
I'm rolling down this right.
Match point is right there. Finn Balor versus... No.
You know, we are recording, so let me just find these matches. I got them way out of order when I wrote them down, so...
Oh, so you do... Okay, no.
Be kind and patient.
Just cut it out of the video.
Right there, pre-show. You just had the thing down too low.
Okay.
Sanity versus New Day in a table match.
Probably New Day, because they always win. I don't think I've ever seen them lose before. Besides when it was at WrestleMania, when the Hardy Show back up. I think that's the only time I've ever seen them lose.
Well, I personally think Sanity is going to win. The New Day is pretty much just filler at this point. They're doing a lot of comedy skits. They're not really wrestling too often, other than singles matches. They had that big hoo-ha in the last pay-per-view about who was going to be in the ladder match, which I did correctly guess that one. I knew it was going to be Kofi all along. Yeah, I think Sanity goes there. If I had to pick, I would think it's probably going to be Xavier Woods going through the table. I don't know. Killian Dane, I think is his name. I think he's going to end up putting, or he could end up putting big guy versus big guy through a table. So, again, I have Sanity. He has the New Day. I don't know the order of the matches, so we're trying to go through how I got them wrote down, and we'll figure out the order from there and how we did. The next one I wrote down is Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin.
I'll say Finn Balor.
Why?
Well, for one, they kind of brought him up on a rise, and then they dropped him right back down because, of his injury. So I'm thinking they're going to try to bring him back up by having him, be the little guy that he is, taking someone on that's, pretty big, and kind of, building himself back up to what he was before he got injured.
Well, I'm also going to take Finn. I don't think this, I hope the storyline doesn't go past tonight. I think, though, the way the WWE books and the way they've been doing things like that, I do think that's going to go till SummerSlam. Because really neither guy at the end of this has anything to do. Unless they find a way to try to, maybe put Finn in the world title picture or the unseen universal title picture. The prediction for that match will come down later. But, again, this feud has been built up on a whole lot of nothing. They haven't really put much time and effort. I think this is a filler feud to get through this pay-per-view on the way to SummerSlam. I think that's where they're going to find something. Maybe not for Constable Corbin. He seems a lot more relaxed and a lot better off in his role. It's kind of just a thorn in Kurt Angle's side, almost. As a voice for Stephanie, so she's not on TV every week, which that is always a plus in my book. But I think this is going to be the blow off to the feud. I think Finn's going to go over. All right, the next one I have is Matt and Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. the Deleter of Worlds. That's a stupid name.
The stupidest name in history.
Against another kind of semi-original, kind of dumb name, the B Team.
Wow. It's like the...
Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
Wait. Why is it called the B Team if Curtis Axel is CA and Bo Dallas is BA?
Because they're the second-rate team. They're a team that without win. You got to pick a team. They pretty much be not the first two on your list.
So, instead of Mr. T, it's, Bo Dallas. Got it. I'm going to say the B Team. Because, I don't know.
I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to let you guys know. The reason why we're doing this is because, I recently got back into wrestling and I started doing wrestling reviews and the predictions and stuff. And so I kind of know, for the most part, what's going on. He hasn't watched wrestling, and I really couldn't tell you how long. He watched the major pay-per-views and stuff like that. But
I think the last pay-per-view I watched is when the Hardys came back.
Which was WrestleMania 2 years ago, I think. So he's an outside perspective to see how good we can guess of someone who doesn't really know wrestling today. And I got a feeling he might get a lot of these right. I mean, you can pretty much, throw a dart and blindfolded and predict these right.
Yeah.
So you have the B team. Why?
Because of Matt Bryan. I'm not really. Like, you see people like the Hardys. You see people like the Dudleys, right? They've been a tag team like forever. Okay, and then see that the Hardys went solo, and I don't think Matt can do it again with another tag team. I don't think he can do it again. I don't think they're gonna push him to that level.
Well, they're already the tag team champions.
Well, I mean, who cares? I mean, they're Matt and Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's the leader of worlds. Are you serious? What name is that, dude? What are you doing? Are you like nuclear bombing the United States? Like, get out of here. What do you mean?
Maybe during tonight at the paper or something, I need to show you that compound match between Matt and Bray. It's actually a really, really good match. It's a very funny match. Not as far into the comedy aspect as like TNA went when they did the match of the Hardy compound, but it was still a good match. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's a hell of a lot better than that House of Horrors match that Bray had with Randy Orton a while back.
The only part that was cool, I remember that match. The only part that was cool about that match was the ring that kept changing. From like maggots to
okay, younger kids go see that. I felt that was just stupid.
You know what? All right,
okay, I have Matt and Bray. The B team is the filler feud. Who the hell is calling me right now?
Is it you?
That's you, bro. Sorry about that, folks.
No, it's not. There's a phone under the computer. Okay.
Okay. Like I was saying, I've lost my train of thought. So I think that the Bray and Matt's going to win the match. I think they're going to continue, and I don't know who the next feud could be, possibly, but I do not think they're going to let the B team hold them tag team titles. So, all right, next match I have down is Asuka versus Carmella in a match that is completely ridiculous in my eyes. It is for the SmackDown Women's title, but it's a shark cage match with old No Chin himself inside the shark cage.
No Chin.
So I'll go first on this one. I think Asuka's going to win, but not win the title. I think that somehow James Ellsworth is going to try to interfere by throwing something down from the shark cage, and I think Carmella's going to get busted trying to use it, or it'll backfire, and she might Asuka might win. Either way, Asuka needs to win. She needs some kind of title. If not, I think then there's no really coming back at this point from her. I would personally like for her to win the title and then head into like a feud with Charlotte when she comes back from recovering from her surgery. So who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I think it's Asuka too, because if you think about it, she went undefeated until she got her title shot, and then she lost. Her only loss is at her title shot.
To Charlotte. That's why I say you're going to feud with Charlotte, try to get a win back.
And in my opinion, that was stupid, because that was the worst way to end someone's streak like that. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you give them a title shot, but then screw them over in the end by saying, well, you know what, you're not going to title anyway, so who cares?
Yeah. Ever since she was hot in NXT. Oh my god. I meant hot like
I don't care.
As her winning matches.
Josh.
Yes, Asuka, I do find her very attractive, but they've kind of done nothing with her since coming to the main roster, and that's a lot of tendency that they do that with superstars, like Bobby Roode and a few others I can name that came up from NXT really on fire, and now have a lot going for them. Then they come, the creative just fumbles the ball with them. Like I said, Bobby Roode, I think they need to drop this good guy persona with him and let him turn heel. If you've seen his work in TNA and in NXT, he works a lot better as a heel, not a baby face. I can't get past that smile. I don't like the baby faces that have to smile all the time. I think that's another problem with Bobby Lashley. Constantly smiling. It's like he takes nothing serious. He has, I know he has a mean streak in him. He don't have to smile all the damn time. So again, I think Asuka will win, but I don't think she'll win the title. And you said you think Asuka's going to win. You think she's actually going to win the title?
Yeah, I do think she's actually. Okay. I think that Carmella, and Jim's Elbow, if they're gonna try to cheat, but I feel like she's gonna, kind of like, stop the cheat from happening. Like screw her over in the end, like hit her with her own cheat, and then throw it out there and get away with it. Like how Eddie Guerrero did.
Like Eddie used to.
Yeah, especially in his last match where he smacked you on the ground through it.
No, I was there for that match.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you gave me the tickets though.
Eddie's well missed. He was a very charismatic wrestler.
Alright, next topic before we get like.
Yeah, before I get into a whole other spiel, this video's starting to run long. The next match is Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss for the women's title, the Raw Women's title.
So wait, who holds it right
now? Alexis has it. She cashed her Money in the Bank in the Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey match. Ronda right now is serving a 30-day suspension, but she says she's going to be in the front row. It is an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, Nia Jax.
You think Nia Jax is going to win?
Yeah, because again, the guys like the same thing about Asuka. They get screwed over in their titles when they actually earn their shot. So I'm thinking that Nia Jax is gonna be Alexa Bliss, because first of all, let me look at the side difference. Okay. Nia Jax is like a watermelon to a grape. Okay. I feel like she's just gonna squash her. I feel like Alexa Bliss isn't gonna have any chance at all.
I think it might happen that way. But I think at the end, I think that Ronda is going to beat up Nia Jax also, allowing Alexa to win. And I would love it if, like, she started celebrating, started laughing, and then Ronda got on the mic and, say something to the effect of, "I have no idea why you're laughing. Now the only thing standing between me and you is the rest of my suspension. So enjoy the next, I think, 2 weeks or whatever many kayfabe days she has left to being suspended." Then end it with, "Because when my suspension is up, your title and your arm are both mine." Kind of put the fear of God into Alexa Bliss. About that little smirk off her face.
You should put that in a caption right there. Just be like, don't Josh Beagle quote 2018.
So I think, just to clarify, I think Alexa's going to win. The next one we have is Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The king of the nut shots. King of nut style. He has a suspension here lately with hitting people in the nuts.
Yeah, you showed me the video.
Yeah. But the AJ kick in the last pay-per-view was...
That was nasty.
Oh, yeah, it was. So, who do you got?
I mean, I know who I chose. I'm going with Shinsuke Nakamura. But at the same time, Jeff Hardy's my favorite, ever since I could remember.
Well, hold on.
But
I can't watch wrestling. I can give you this much. Jeff Hardy has been noticeably limping, like, to the ring and stuff here for at least the past week or so. So I think he's actually has some type of injury.
And him losing title to Shinsuke is his way of getting time off, like a lot of wrestlers do. So yeah, I mean that's another reason. But I was gonna go Shinsuke anyways, because again he's earned his shot, so I feel like he should earn the title. I mean, no matter what, you can't go by who you like the most. You got to go by who earned it. Yeah, what do you think?
I have Shinsuke just for the simple fact that I think not only, 2 reasons. A, Jeff Hardy, I think he's hurt. I think he needs some time to heal. When he comes back, I hope that somehow they can figure a way to flip him to where they can, bring back Brother Nero. He'd be an excellent addition to the Leader of Worlds. If you haven't seen anything instead of Brother Nero, it's pretty intense. Jeff is a very charismatic actor no matter what he's doing. I've always been a huge fan of his. Going way back to the Team Extreme days, going all the way back to when they first debuted. But not only that, I think Shinsuke needs a title win. After all the opportunities he had with AJ, I thought he should have won the title the last pay-per-view. I think really this is another case of an NXT wrestler, catching fire and having all kinds of momentum, coming to the main roster, and nobody knows what to do with him. I think he needs a title win. I think it'll, what? What's funny?
I was making faces to myself.
You realize that tens of people will see this video, right?
No, like ones of people.
Tens of people will see this video. So, yes, if Shinsuke loses this match for some reason, I'll never pick him to win another match again, and I don't see him being in the WWE very much longer. There's rumors that his contract's coming up, but again, rumors are rumors, and I don't know that to be true, so I'm not going to base my decision on that. But if it is true, I think they'll end up giving him the title, just kind of appeasing him and hope that he re-signs. Vince is signing a lot of independent wrestlers, especially over, for the UK brand. So I think he's trying to eliminate the competition by signing practically every damn body that he can get his grubby little hands on. So Shinsuke picks up the win. I think it's going to be kind of a nut shot into Kinshasa for the win. All right, next match we have down Seth Rollins versus Dirty Dolph Ziggler for the IC title in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Drew McIntyre recently won a match against Seth to allow him to be at ringside. Again, my last video talked about how that was just an inconsequential stipulation. Because of Dolph, even if Drew interferes, I forgot it was a 30-minute Iron Man match, but still, regardless if he was banned or not, he can still interfere. So, I have Dolph. I think Dolph's going to pick it up probably either 2-1 or 1-0 in this match to set up when Drew and Dolph have their inevitable feud. It's going to be for the IC title to make it a little more high profile. I think Dolph's career trajectory is not a good thing. It's mirroring Shawn Michaels. And I think they're trying to make him too much like Shawn Michaels, especially now that he's tuning up the band, so to speak, when he goes to do his super kick. This reminds me of the Diesel Shawn whole thing with them as Shawn's bodyguard and their feud. I wouldn't put it past the WWE to be trying to do the same exact thing where Dolph tells Drew that he don't need him for the night, the night off, and that starts, the kind of separation between them, and make it a mirror of that storyline. By the way, if you're wondering, the person walking behind me is my dad. I think he's lost. He don't know where he's going, so just pay him no attention. He might be looking for his meds. So you might see him 30 or 40 more times, who knows, in this video. So again, I have Dolph. Just for the simple fact of going through the feud with Drew and the IC title.
I have Dolph too, but not because the mirror thing with Shawn Michaels. Yes, that's probably like 90% true, because like you said, they're literally making him that way.
Yeah.
But I choose Dolph because I can't even remember the last time he actually had a title run. I can't even remember it. Like the last title run I think was the IC title, right?
No, he recently won the U.S. title, but he won it, and then he set it down in the ring and walked away. Rumor was his contract was up, and they were going to give it to him to kind of appease it, and he just wasn't happy with Swiss Creative, and he was ready to leave. And so he kind of said, F this title, and he walked away. And coincidentally, came back the next night and did his whole spiel about trying to be different. And I think Drew is one of the best wrestlers on the roster, but Dolph is one of the most consistent and one of the most outstanding performers when it comes to actually moves and selling of moves in the company. It has been for a very long time. I wish they would find a lot more creative for him than subsequent, little mini feuds. Actually give him something to work with, and he might surprise you. Okay, next one is the Bludgeon Bros versus the reuniting Team Hell No. Daniel Bryan and Kane for the SmackDown Tag Titles. No stipulations. Just a straight tag match. So, who do you think is going to win that?
I think it's going to Team Hell No. I think. Wait, who else tell us now?
The Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, then definitely Team Hell No because, how they dominated when they first started. I feel like they're going to try to do the same thing again and then dominate, I feel like the company's going to make, how they dominated before, Daniel Bryan got hurt and had to, retire for about, a couple, 2 years and came back. But I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna push their tag team again. I feel like they're just gonna repeat themselves with it. Like I feel like they're gonna push a tag team, and then Daniel Bryan, and there's gonna be some stipulations, and then Daniel Bryan's gonna cut off and then go on his own path like they did last time, and I feel like he's gonna win the world title again, and then that's it.
Did you know Kane's in the political world now?
Yes, it
He's
is.
running for governor. He won the preliminaries. He's going to be on the main ticket. So I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win. I think they're going on a very nostalgic kick with Daniel Bryan. Yeah, so I think that WWE's on a big nostalgic kick with Daniel Bryan. They're trying to pop ratings. That's why they brought back Kane. Like I said, Kane's right in the middle of a political career. He's in a senator race, I do believe. No, that's but yeah, all these stupid faces you're making. Tens of people are going to see this video. I want all your little friends to watch this so I can laugh at you. I think The Miz is going to interfere. Kane will take the pin, disappear, and they'll move forward with these SummerSlam story. And hopefully, finally, getting Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
Why hope?
Because talking smack a while ago, and if you look, I came across it on YouTube a couple of nights ago. The Miz talks about being frustrated about being left on the show and that whole massive talking smack, which I missed that show. That was a great unscripted show, and he just went off on on Daniel Bryan, talking about if you really wanted to wrestle, you wouldn't be here right now. You'd be wrestling some independent show. If you really cared about wrestling, no, you're sitting here in a nice cushy job, talking trash. I'm out here every day defending this title, and as much as I don't like the Miz character, I can appreciate what he wanted to do for the IC title. He wanted to make it the premier title again. So, and I think he did that during his run. I don't like him as world champion. I didn't like him when he was the WWE champion the last time. But I think they'll feud at SummerSlam, and they might continue off and on until WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind seeing like Daniel Bryan win the title, and then that'd be the catalyst for a WrestleMania match between the two. So yeah, I think that Team Hell No this is our second match, last appearance.
Second match, last appearance.
They had a match last week on SmackDown.
So this is only their second match?
Yeah, as a tag team again.
What? I think we're lying.
Well, until the video goes live, I say yes, you can't change your mind. So
okay, good, because I'm definitely gonna blame Butters now because I did not realize that this is only their second match. They did that. I thought they already this. No, that's probably what they did.
So, the next one is Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman. If you guys don't watch Wrestlers Are Great, you need to check it out. That Brian Zane does a Braun Strowman song that I can't get it out of my head. It's so funny and catchy. You guys can check that out. So I have Braun in this match, even though he's been kind of being a dick for pretty much no reason to Kevin Owens. He's been on such a massive push right now with the greatest Royal Rumble victory and the Money in the Bank victory. I don't see them having him lose to anybody right now. I would love for like in a situation where like Braun barely escapes the cage before Kevin Owens does, and I kind of like the feud. They've been working so well together. I kind of want the feud to keep going. And then maybe have a Braun cash in at SummerSlam, which they can continue to feud even over the title. I think that'd be really good. But I just don't see, no matter who the opponent is, I don't see Braun losing to anybody right now.
I agree. I completely agree with everything you just said. Like, honestly, in my head, I was like, okay, it's I already knew he won the Royal.
Did you see what he did to him at Money in the Bank?
No, I didn't.
When he did to Kevin Owens? He threw him like off a 30-foot ladder through a table. I'll have to let you watch that because that was
Braun Strowman's
amazing.
gonna win. There's that match.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a squash. I think might be a good 5 to 10 minute match. Braun doing most of the work, but I think Kevin Owens will get some of his moves in, like the cannonball. I like to see cannonball like somehow like onto the cage. That would look amazing. But regardless, I think that Braun is going to go over. So, and the second to last match, which should be the main event, but we all know that it's not going to be, and that kind of pisses me off, is AJ Styles as the WWE champion versus Rusev Day. If you don't know Rusev, it's basically considered every single day as a holiday named Rusev Day after him. Even last year Christmas was funny. He's like, it ain't Christmas, it's Rusev Day.
Okay, well, AJ Styles, undeniable. Okay, Rusev is not gonna. No. Well, actually, they might. They actually might, because they could be setting up a new storyline. You know, just like they did with the U.S. title, just like Jinder Mahal did with the U.S. title. You know, they kind of took it as. I mean, they're more like disrespecting you in the United States, but I mean, it was a pretty good, you know, like promo. I don't know, thingy. So I'm feel like Rusev is gonna win, and you know he's gonna pull out like this whole freaking for Russia bullcrap again.
If your prediction is right, I know a lot of people that actually will be happy. I know a lot of people that are massive Rusev fans. I really am not a Rusev fan. But I think AJ is going to win. Hands down, I think he's going to carry the belt possibly to WrestleMania. I don't see anybody that's going to beat him right now. I would. There's a rumor going around of him and Samoa Joe feuding after this for the title. There's been a few promos for the show, where it shows Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles and the W titles in the background. So I don't think AJ is going to lose. I think Rusev is just again, it's a filler until the SummerSlam storylines pick up. So I think it's going to be a decent match. I can almost tell you that I think Aiden English may try to interfere. I'm kind of looking forward. I like his. I do like his song when he comes out. He has some pretty creative ones, and so I'm actually looking forward to what he's going to do tonight when introducing Rusev. So I tell you, before I started doing this, I would have no real reason to like or dislike wrestlers, but now that I've actually had to give my opinions in a thoughtful form, sometimes I know sometimes I can ramble and stutter. I've come to appreciate certain aspects that I ordinarily would just pass off. So, but regardless, AJ's going to win. I don't know, with Rusev being as big as he is, I don't know if they're going to go with the Styles Clash, so he may tap out to the Calf Crusher. Or he may get pinned by the Phenomenal Forearm. But my side prediction is there will be no Styles Clash. Because Rusev is a big boy. And finally, the match we all know, none of us is really looking forward to. The Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley for what could be assumed to be the number one contender match to face Brock at SummerSlam.
Wait, is this match officially happening? Or is this like a maybe might happen?
No, this is a match that's going to happen, but the whole storyline built on I have the tools to beat Brock.
And it's
Lashley thinks that Roman's had too many chances and he hasn't won. He hasn't had any chances and he has the tools with his MMA background to actually beat Brock. That's the whole storyline. I can beat Brock, you can't. You don't deserve another shot. I deserve one.
Well, then Bobby Lashley, definitely. Because, yet again, Roman Reigns has fought this man like 50 million times and has lost every single time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like Bobby Lashley, being, buff like as big as he is, I feel like that'll be,
Oh, wait, when you see Lashley stand next to Reigns tonight, he actually makes Reigns look small.
Well, I feel like Bobby Lashley's gonna go in there. I feel like he's gonna win, and I feel like at SummerSlam, something like that. Yeah, SummerSlam. What's the pay-per-view that this number 1 contending match is going
The
on?
next one is going to be SummerSlam.
Okay, SummerSlam, I feel like he's going to be Brock at SummerSlam, and he's going to take the Universal title away, and he's going to hold it longer than Brock will. I feel like Brock is going to be done.
You realize Brock's been the champion for well over 400 days now.
You do realize this man only fights like 4 times a freaking year, right?
Yes.
You realize this man doesn't deserve the title and should not have the title, and they're only giving him the title because of no reason.
Well, I mean, I don't blame Brock for not appearing. You know, he's making a paycheck sitting at home. I don't blame him for that. I blame WWE Creative, A, for not making him show up, B, for not having him perform, C, for having to hold the damn title for too long without that many actual defenses. I'm tired of not seeing the title on Raw every week. It's almost hard to remember what the damn title looks like at once. So godforsaken ugly. It's kind of burned in the back of my retinas. I close my eyes and I have nightmares about that thing. It's definitely not one of their better titles. It's right up there with that garbage looking Divas title they had a long time ago.
Which
With
one?
the one with the dumbass butterfly on it. It was the metallic.
The Women's Championship.
Yeah, the silver, the Divas title. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Divas. The women's looked pretty clean.
Yeah, the white on red, actually, I think I like that, but the red on red just doesn't look right.
I don't understand why.
Okay, here's what it is.
Every title is literally the same title now.
Although
it's the same
all the heavyweight
title.
titles are the exact same design.
It is the same title.
Yeah.
Every title, every single title is the same. Besides US and maybe Intercontinental, but that's it. Every other title is the same.
Well, the tag titles are different.
Well, who cares? They're the same thing, dude. The same thing. Like, go back to the original. Like, make a WWE title, and then make a World Heavyweight title, instead of combining them to make this stupid trash title that doesn't even look good anymore. Like, go back to what it used to be, and boom, you're set. You know, you got a better title franchise than what you have now. You make it look retarded.
Before I finish mine on this match, I want to apologize for the audio and for the visual. I do have a new camera and a new mic coming soon. Hopefully it'll be here sooner than later. But I've been burnt on this before in the past, and I've learned, kind of like John Cena, you don't bet against Roman. So I'm going for Roman Reigns simply on the fact that Vince has a die-hard hard-on to get Roman over. I don't get... he would get over if they turned him heel. You have him heel out on Lashley and actually give him, fans, a legitimate reason to boo him, other than the fact that he can't deliver a promo, he doesn't really wrestle that well, he's boring, he acts like he don't want to be there. Vince thinks that you can make him sympathetic. You can't make the guy sympathetic if he always fucking wins. You can't. So, I'm picking Roman Reigns just for the sheer fact that it's Roman fucking Reigns. That is it. Again, tens of people are going to see this and start laughing at you. I don't have to be this far deep into the video. Top in the video. Okay, he's really shown that he's really 12.
Wait a minute.
So,
he
wants to know if we want to do a punishment for this video.
I'm 13 or
14, I believe.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I got a family like 1,500 cousins, and it's hard to keep track of their ages.
Wait, I'm confused about my own age. Am I 13 or 14 years old?
Well, when were you born?
2004.
Okay, you'd be 14.
I'm 14.
Have you had a birthday yet?
Yeah.
Okay, then no. You're 13.
Wait.
That means I am 20 years older.
Wait. I am 14. I just turned 14 this year.
So then you had a birthday.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think this was a mistake. I should have done a damn video about myself. At least I look like a jackass because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know my own damn age.
Dude,
Jesus.
I don't even remember having a birthday. Did I forget that?
So,
I had a party.
if you would like to see us have some kind of punishment, put it in the comments below.
That won't happen until it's gonna be eggs.
And whatever you guys decide, we'll do.
He has no
So, we have created a predictions title. It's not here right now.
Yeah, it's not here.
Cheap made out of cardboard.
And we gotta paint it and everything else. So, I mean, it's not done.
But
it's just, you know.
We started it a year ago, and somebody refused to get egged after they lost their predictions.
No, fine. They'll bet right now. Shake the hand on the camera and say that whoever loses has to get egged on the live stream. Well, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
come on.
I got it.
Come on, shake on it right now. Who gets egged?
Fine.
Look, there's a shake, guys. There's a shake. It's physical.
Don't worry about putting it in the comments. I guess we're gonna have an egg challenge. An egg punishment.
I don't want to lose. I lost last time by 1 point because I said Randy Orton and I thought I did it.
If you go back to my very first video on this channel, you will see that I lost the predictions and I did get my legs waxed.
I'm in that video.
As a punishment.
I'm a cameraman for like 5
Me
seconds.
and his older brother, we both got our legs waxed and hurt like a bitch. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. We will have I'll do a reaction to what I think about each match, and I'll grade it like I did the last pay-per-view. So, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. If you laughed, we had a decent time. It's a lot better than talking to my damn self. Share this video with everybody you possibly can. Let's get those views up and let's get those subscriptions up. And if you haven't, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Until then, I will see you for the next video. Bye.